Massive problems at the Lawrence camp and how the industry may be involved. Hey everybody, Walty Wanders, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So the Lawrence camp, welcome back to the swimming pool. You're back in the deep end and you have distractions going on right now at the worst possible time you could have them, friends. Listen, this is running deep. The swamp is running deep. And listen, friends, this is where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Now, the realities are this, man. You've probably all heard by now the Lawrence's agent, Lucas Myrtle, who I do not know, and I'm not here to make any allegations against the guy, but where there's smoke, there's typically fire. And the realities are this: the industry is either directly or indirectly could be at some level responsible. Right now, we're going to scratch the surface a little bit because this really needs to be aired out and talked about, because this is really the challenge that I've been talking about with the industry. When they're trying to create this new mainstream sport out of a blood sport, an alternative sport, and Wall Street has infiltrated the industry. These are the byproducts. And get ready, we're just getting started, friends. It's gonna get funner, guaranteed. We got a lot to talk about. Now, the reality is this: agents, these agents that represent athletes, they make money off of negotiating the deals, the contracts, negotiating endorsements, and negotiating sponsorships, and any other endeavor that they can orchestrate for these riders. And that's exactly what happened. But here's the challenge, my friends. Whew, buckle up, man. This is insanity. Insane what we're about to talk about. So, when Lucas Myrtle started with the Lawrences, they had a very small circle around them compared to where what they have now, because the industry paid these people so much money. I mean, they have so much money now that they need probably a team of financial advisors to manage their estate, their portfolio. And their portfolio is deep. They probably don't even know. Jet Lawrence probably doesn't even know half the investments that are happening with the revenues that they've been able to achieve. But unfortunately, what also happened is these agents, when their rider explodes the way this one exploded, they are making massive, massive money. So the more you can negotiate for your rider, of course, the more you get paid, the more that your percentage of whatever it is going to come out to. And this agent started making a killing. I mean, just crushing it. Now, the industry is partly just on a surface. Like, this could run a lot deeper, and we're just now hearing about, this whole thing. But like I said, I mean, this is not good for the Lawrence camp. This isn't the kind of publicity you want. I always say, any publicity is good publicity. Not necessarily in this regard. It definitely not in this regard. Absolutely not. People pissed at you? Sure. That can light the internet on fire. But when you have corruption in your camp, and it all comes down to dollars, when you pay this guy this much money, and the industry went all in on Jet Lawrence, and I'm sure his agent understood the added interest that the industry had by making him the face of the sport, the wonder boy, the chosen one, the moto messiah, the perfect season. This guy is cashing in a big time. So the industry, by allowing that to happen, actually made a lot of greedy people probably come out of the woodwork. But my guess, and this is just guesswork at this point, what I'm anticipating, what I think's happening here, like I said, these are more than allegations. Lucas Myrtle's agency fired him based on what I read was evidence. They have some kind of evidence. This isn't just purely allegations and we think and feel and there's a room. No, they have now, whether this so-called evidence. Now, I'm sure Lucas Myrtle's any money that he made off this Lawrence brothers is about to go to defend himself, because he is probably going to be sued. There could be criminal charges. He's going to need a team of lawyers. This is horrible. All that money that he negotiated for these riders is about to get, anything that he has left is going to be needed for that. This will be a huge. And listen, Lucas, if you're listening, brother, we've all been through tough times, and we know, like, going through it right when you're in the middle of it, horrible. But hopefully down the road, someday you'll look back on it and say, hey man, that was the hardest thing I ever went through. I don't want to ever go through anything like that again, but I don't regret it now because of what I've learned. So as long as you can learn from this, you'll be good. Money, the money's, it's never going to be enough anyway. So, don't even worry about the money, even though it's easier said than done. But the reality is this: I believe what's going to happen, or what happened, is the Lawrence team, when they grew to the levels they grew to, and they started to have to employ bigger legal teams, big financial advisors, my guess, one of the scenarios that's very probable, is their financial advisors probably did an audit on every single dollar that these guys are bringing in order to do their job properly. Now, some of these audits possibly ended up, there was a paper trail that led back to their agent. And that's my guess. Some audit happened, whether it was donuts, whether it was VIP experience, whether it was sponsorships, whether it was endorsements, whether it was writing contracts. Something happened somewhere that some dollars were missing. And based on what we're hearing is that he was accessing their personal funds, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. And so there was somehow, he got caught potentially with his hand in the cookie jar. Now, he might have, I don't know about you guys. For me, I've been in a position before where I'm managing something, whether it's merchandise or, they owed me this. I'm going to go, even back when back in the day. When I worked for some of the coolest, most controversial brands in the industry, XXX, Moto XXX, funnest brands in the industry, Moto Star. There's times where I'm like, hey man, I'm going to rock this shirt because I work here and hook me up. I want to be hooked up. And that's the thing when you work in the industry. It's for me, it wasn't about the money. It was about, I love the sport and then the hookups. I just had I still have so much stuff. I can't even tell you how much stuff from working in the industry got me. But you get a little bit entitled after a while. And you start bending the rules, right? And you might think this is pretty small. But it maybe was just enough to fire him. It could have been a really small, but it was just enough. I've seen this happen. You probably have too. In the workplace, somebody steals a pencil and they get fired. They clock out, but they're not. Or they clock in, but they're not actually fired. Stealing from the company or robbing us of our time. Something happened. Like I said, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. But again, friends, make no mistake about this. The industry, they're negotiating massive contracts for themselves. And this is now a big commodity, and Wall Street has infiltrated the industry. And a lot of these dollars are finding their way over to the Lawrence camp. Now, not directly from the industry, but the fact that they promoted the Wonder Boy the way and made him the face of the industry. All their marketing. You go through Supercross at the pits, you can have a picture. You can pay to have your picture taken with a bike that looks like jets. There's a kiosk for that. You can pay for that. Everything is for sale. And the reality is this. There's so much money in this Lawrence camp now. I believe at first when Myrtle came alongside these people, they had a very small team. Didn't need one. But when those millions and millions of dollars, they started having to retain legal representation and financial advisors in order to manage that much wealth. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Lawrence Brothers, welcome back to the swimming pool. Welcome to what's really going on with the industry. Too much money is going to make people greedy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of powers at play. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. I'm sure you guys are pretty bummed that somebody that you've known and trusted and helped you achieve the financial status that you've achieved is now under fire, fired, and 86th from your program. And I'm sure you got people blocking you from even talking to the guy because you have a brand new team in place and they don't want you anywhere near this guy with a 10-foot pole. And that's why Walty's going to be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.